Today we're going to be doing a market watch on 15 players for Dynasty Fantasy Football. We're going to see the changes in ADP from June to July. We're also going to look at the advanced metrics. We're going to talk about the storylines. A lot of these players have recent storylines around them. That's why I chose them, so we can talk about them, talk about the market, talk about how value can change over the course of time during training camp, start of season, in season, and everything else. That being said, you need to click that subscribe button right now. I'm helping you build your Dynasty teams. And news announcement, we will have Dynasty videos in season this year added to the plethora of content that I do in season as well. So you are going to want to click that subscribe button. Follow along as I help you win your Dynasty leagues. But we're starting off with Javonte Williams. I feel like I talk about him a lot, but he's in the news a lot. And more news came out because between him and Samaje Perine, according to the news that came out, doesn't mean it's real, that one of them more than likely is going to get cut. More than likely, when you look at the money and you look at the contract, more than likely Samaje Perine. But in the news recently, it said that Javonte Williams is going to have to fight for a starting job. And you're seeing a reflection in the market right below me in ADP. He dropped some more this month. He's rated as RB29 in ADP, 102 overall. That being said, he's a player you want to pay attention to. If he falls any further or gets any cheaper, you can make your pivot either way. Or you may want to get out right now, whatever you want to do, or you want to hold pat. But we're looking at the Broncos offense. I don't think anybody's thinking about this offense producing a lot of fantasy contributors. Javonte Williams' value isn't really on the sell right now because it's not super high, but he's also very liquid. Look at what he did last year. He can be somewhat productive, might be a good money ball play, but Audric Estime enters the chat. RB58 and ADP not too far below Javonte Williams. His value is starting to trend back up as this news circulates. So his value is getting more expensive. He's a round 5 running back, so they do not have much sunk cost invested in him. But the thing about Audric Estime though, all he has to do is pound it between the tackles. Very productive at Notre Dame. Very reliable. We're going to start training camp healthy. He's a name to pay attention to throughout training camp and on the start of the season. Brandon Ayuk. More trade rumors. More rumors coming out that he's not getting traded, that he is getting traded, that he wants to be traded. Trade. The thing is, the market doesn't care. He dipped from wide receiver 13 to 15, ADP 23 right now. He's still a very good wide receiver, and he can go to a lot of teams and still be very productive. The odds of him getting traded, not likely. Not likely. They're going to weigh him out. He's probably going to be on the team this year, and then we'll see what happens going forward. But the thing is about the market here, you look at the wide receiver grouping as a whole. He might be a player that you might pivot off of, get another wide receiver and another pick, and try to get more players out of. Or you stand pat here, enjoy the production. The thing is, you got wide receivers who can get you 4 wide receiver 1 weeks that are a little bit cheaper, that can get you some draft picks. Brandon Ayuk, though, wide receiver 15, still good in those regards. A still safer wide receiver to the draft. I like him. I got a lot of shares. But the market, over the course of time, has pumped him up. And the market does not care about the news. It just does not care. So if you're looking to get out, or if you're nervous about it, now may be the time before more news drops and it makes the market nervous. Or you stand pat because you like Brandon Ayuk. I like Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a good player. George Pickens is a good player as well. Very aggressive, gritty wide receiver. Valued at wide receiver 23. Just like Ayuk, 4 wide receiver 1 weeks. But his low end was a lot lower. But enters the chat. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. We're getting an upgrade at quarterback. We got quarterbacks that want to push it downfield. Deontay Johnson's gone. And the market's saying, we're going to keep things the same. We're not going to pump him up because his value has roughly stayed the same, maybe up and down a little bit through over the course of this time. But he could be a surprise candidate, being the wide receiver 1 here for Pittsburgh, getting new quarterback play that could help him, that could allow him to produce an 8 out of 13.5. That is going to go up. or be more productive, considering he's going to get more accurate targets from Russell Wilson. He's got a rapport with Justin Fields. Justin Fields wants to sling the rock a little bit. He wants to prove himself. So whoever's starting at quarterback earned the job and is going to want to push it to George Pickens. Courtland Sutton, going back from Russell Wilson to Courtland Sutton. That's why we're doing the pivot point. He is dirt cheap. He is free. Wide receiver 53. Back to the Broncos situation here. We do not see this offense putting out multiple fantasy contributors. On top of that, he's not for long in Dynasty and for the NFL. We're 29 years old. Next year will be the end year of his contract. That being said, he is going to be the alpha for at least one more year. He's going to be getting deep balls. He can be productive. He can give you a stable floor, but we do not know what that looks like with this quarterback play. But the market's saying that as it keeps getting lower and lower. But the quarterback play wasn't optimal last year, and he was still productive. Wide receiver 53. If you're looking for a cheap wide receiver, you're hurting, you're good at running back, you think you can be competitive, maybe you can get him. I do not look at this as a suggestion, but if you're looking for a 20% target share wide receiver on the cheap, this might be one of the few that you can catch at a discount. Christian Kirk. A lot of people in redraft and Dynasty are drafting with 2 condoms on with Christian Kirk. Wide receiver 41 in Dynasty. He's safe. He's safe. He's not going to impregnate you. He's not going to bust you. But still, 3 wide receiver 1 weeks last year. And we know what this team wants to do. They brought in Davis. They brought in Brian Thomas Jr. as the first-round pick, who's got plenty of upside. What does that tell you? They want to push it downfield. And Trevor Lawrence, top 5 among quarterbacks in ADOT per attempt. Average depth of target, pushing the ball downfield. They want to push the ball downfield. He's not going to get a ton of targets to elevate his stock to the point where you're getting a below 10 ADOT and getting you top tier fantasy results. He's going to be good on your team as a safe asset, but he's not going to be that asset that blows over the moon. But the market's saying, hey, we don't care right now. We're going to keep drafting him. Even though we got more competition on the offense, this offense wants to push it downfield. We're cool with this 20% target share. We want a 20% target share because it's safe. It makes us feel good inside. But we know he's not going to win our league for us. We just want to be able to dance at the party. Derrick Henry, RB 18, ADP 79. And why we're looking at him is because he's an older running back, 2-year contract. But everybody's saying they're playing running back in 1 to 2 to 3 year windows, depending on how their team's structured and how the running back is. He's in a 2-year window right now. That's what the contract says. That's what the Raven says. That's what everything is saying right now. But the market's saying, hey, RB 18, ADP 79. So if you're looking at running backs in that window, that's kind of a great value for you because he projects out to being a top running back, to getting a top opportunity share. Injuries, everything else, kind of baked in, kind of not. Kind of not, because that's baked in with all running backs. Baked in with all running backs, and you're worried about that. We're an older running back. We know the end game is near. 2 more years on the contract, 2 more years with the team. And if you're looking at running backs at a value that can get you production now, this might be the guy for you. Rashee Rice, wide receiver 39. You know why I picked him. You know why I picked him. We're waiting for the suspension. We saw the dip in ADP, and it's hitting its stagnant line. A slight drop from June to July, but we're still going okay. Xavier Worthy's balling out right now in training camp. Marquise Hollywood-Brown balling out right now. More competition for targets. Patrick Mahomes is going to go deep ball city. Rashee Rice, by proxy, should get a bigger ADOT. 4.8 doesn't cut it, especially if he's going to get more competition for targets. But with him being on the field, 17.9% target share over the entire season, probably realistic if Xavier Worthy hits, if Marquise Hollywood-Brown does Marquise Hollywood-Brown things. But the 4.8 ADOT, that's very hard to do. Look for that to increase. I look for him to be productive when he's on the field. I look for him to be productive when he comes back from suspension and things are very quiet. I look for this to be a slap on the wrist. T. Higgins, wide receiver 26 in ADP, ADP 44.5. Thing about him though, you're drafting him at like ADP 20, ADP 15. like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Now you're catching him at this discount. We got another year with the Bengals. He's going to give you splash upside. He could go to another team, could be getting good target share, or if he has a good season this year, they might sign him. Who knows? Who knows? You look at the money, you look at the contracts, you look at the team situation, you figure that out. But looking at T. Higgins, we got another year with the Bengals. We got some production here. We got a wide receiver here that you're getting cheaper than what you could have gotten a few years ago. We got 4 wide receiver 1 games with some injuries baked in there. And some wide receivers are going more expensive than him that got 4 wide receiver 1 games. So with him being on the mend most of the season, up and down play with that, still showing off that he can get you some production, those top tier weeks are big. And if he's healthy on the field, he's getting targets, that could be huge for you at wide receiver 26 in ADP, and then he signed somewhere else, and he had a good season here. He's getting good money. He's going to be getting opportunity. Stays with the Bengals, going to be getting good money, going to be getting good opportunity. Wide receiver 26, pretty cheap in those regards. Kyren Williams, RB9, ADP almost 30, and he went from like RB6 range to RB9, but the ADP stayed the same. That being said, the market's starting to push up the running backs as we get closer to the season. That's what that is saying. So people are starting to value the running backs closer now because fantasy points are almost here and they need to get the running backs. And Kyren Williams is here to tell that story. Kyren Williams is going to get volume. He's going to get opportunity. He's going to get used. Blake Corum will have his time. But 2024, until the wheels fall off, which could be week 1, could be week 16. We don't know. Could be next year. He's going to get enough volume to be fantasy relevant. And he's a good value right now, especially in the short term, which all running backs are in the short term. So if you're about those 1 to 2 year windows and you're not worried about years 3 to 5, Kyren Williams is the guy to get. Kyren Williams is the guy to get. But if you're really hyper-focused on years 3 to 5, Kyren Williams is the guy you're scared of. And that's how it is, and that's the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so. But Tank Dell, wide receiver 22 in ADP, ADP 40. And the market has not dipped up yet. He's looked good in minicamp. He's looked good in OTAs. He's looked good in workouts. We're in training camp right now. We're 3 practices in with the Texans. He's already making plays. He's making catches. He's looking smooth. He's healthy. He's good to go. We should see a little dip soon in ADP, and that's something you need to pay attention to. So if you're looking to buy and you're trying to get an off-season discount, you better do it soon. Joe Mixon, RB19, and the value's starting to pump up here because we're seeing him with the Texans. We're seeing him at training camp, minicamp, OTAs, and everything else. Joe Mixon has a lot of upside with this team. I look for the ADP to increase as we get closer to the start of the season. I look for his ADP on underdog and in redraft to jump up some rounds as well. Right now, 6th round ADP and underdog, that's going up to the 5th, that's going up to the 4th as we approach August, as we get into the middle of August. So if you're looking to get in, you better get in soon because that door is shutting. It should be shut right now. Devonta Smith, wide receiver 16. I think he's one of the best values in all of fantasy sports because he gives you a good floor. He's got a good contract with the Eagles. The Eagles move the ball. He's a key piece of the offense. He gets a good ADOT. He gets a lot of volume. He's going to be on the team for a while, and he's very reliable. Wide receiver 16, that's a hell of a discount for a wide receiver like that. Josh Jacobs, we're watching the market on him. They do not care that we're getting to the start of the season. The market's dropping by the month on him. RB16, ADP 69. But again, watch him. He might become more liquid if we get closer to the season. A lot of people like Marshawn Lloyd, but they did give Josh Jacobs that money. They're looking to use them. The media around the Packers loves him. They're looking at him every practice. They're anointing him. Marshawn Lloyd's looking good in practice. Watch Josh Jacobs as we get into trading camp. Jackson Smith-Njigba. If you told me a few years ago that you had a rookie wide receiver that caught 63 balls for 628 yards on 4 touchdowns, I'd be over the moon for it, and I'd expect the market to be over the moon for it, but it's not for Jackson Smith-Njigba. Down below is Tyler Lockett's contract. He's out on 2025 with a potential out after this year. He might be gone. He's an older wide receiver. Things could break in this offense. We see this offense break with injuries, especially at the running back position. Jackson Smith-Njigba is going into year 2. coming back from injury that started the season as well. He started his rookie season off hurt, and his last year at Ohio State, he was hurt. So he needed a ramp-up time. You can pretty much call the start of this year part of his rookie season, considering he started the front nine of this season injured. That being said, we might see him implemented more. He might be in more schemes. They might use him in more of their concepts more. They may have more packages ready available for Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's going to be used underneath a lot. 6.3 ADOT, not great, but expect that to increase over the course of time. 16.9% target share, not horrible for a rookie that was on the field for 75% of the time. I can cut it both ways for you. If you want to be down, he's got competition. DK Metcalf, wide receiver 1. He did not hit to what people wanted to during his rookie season. If you want to buy in, he got 628 yards on 63 receptions as a rookie. That's very good as a rookie. 75% route participation rate. He was on the field as a rookie. He flashed as a rookie. He had some plays that got called back as a rookie. 5.5 targets per game as a rookie, which is pretty solid. Almost a 17% target share. That is very solid as a rookie during his first season. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to be down on. But look at the market here, and it's saying, hey, we don't care that much. We don't care that much. Maybe you want to buy in right now at wide receiver 28, but those are 15 players that we're looking at on the Dynasty market here. That's rising, falling. Maybe you can buy, maybe you can sell, maybe you can set them on fire. Whatever you want to do, but those are the numbers. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.